Hi guys. So, Luca is down for his first nap, finally. He fought that with all of his might this morning. But I wanted to do a little update. I'm not gonna like dive into it fully quite yet. But I have talked to Kevin about it, and I think we're on the same page to where we both think that like talking about it would be good. So today is Monday, and we have physical therapy coming to the house. So we do physical therapy with Luca twice a month. They come to our house for now until we move. Like I said before, and like every freaking vlog, we live in the city right now, but we're gonna be moving to like far away from our rental house, and they do not offer in-house physical therapy to where we're moving. So once we move, it's going to transition to like Zoom basically, and we'll be doing it kind of like on the internet with our physical therapist over like a FaceTime call essentially. So we do physical therapy twice a month for Luca, and that is because Luca has ACC. So just like a super quick recap, and like I said, I think I want to go into a separate video about Luca's, like me being pregnant, Luca's birth story, and like a update on like where Luca is current day. But to like sum it up, basically ACC is agenesis of the corpus callosum. So he has a part of his brain that did not form. It's just not there. It is the part that connects the left and right hemisphere and like gets them to talk. But the very cool thing about the brain is that it just compensates for what it's missing most of the time. But for the corpus callosum, most of the time it can compensate for it not being there. So that is why the other day in the vlog you saw that we had an MRI. We've been doing MRIs with him. He was getting them like once a month for a while after he was first born, and then we switched to like every other month, and I think now we're like up to every 3 months to keep an eye on it. So he goes in, he has imaging done on his brain, and we just kind of like take a look and keep up with what's going on in there and like monitor it. When I was still pregnant with him, we weren't sure if when he was born he was going to need a shunt because his ventricles are also enlarged in his brain. Basically, like the brain is compensating for that space missing. So the brain has added like a little bit of fluid into it to fill in that space. So we've been keeping an eye on that just to make sure that it isn't causing pressure or anything like that for him. And so far everything's been fine. He hasn't had to have a shunt. And we actually meet with his neurosurgeon tomorrow to go over the imaging that we did Friday. So it's been 3 months since we've had an MRI. So his last MRI, he was stable, which was amazing news. It had been fluctuating a little bit from all the past MRIs, but the last MRI, the neurosurgeon was very happy with how it looked. So I'm hoping that tomorrow we also have good news and can just stay on that path of stability. So I've got him down for his first nap, so hopefully he's going to take his full first nap, and then when he wakes up, our physical therapist will be coming shortly after that. We'll do physical therapy, which is about an hour, and then after that we'll probably do lunch, play a little bit, and then it'll be time for a second nap. So also today I'm going to do the pork chops because I don't know, I did talk about this in another vlog, but I'm not sure if I cut it out or not. But on the days that Kevin works both of his jobs, so he's an electrician during the day full-time, and then he also is like a part-time teacher at an electrical school. I almost said college, but I guess it's not really a college, it's a trade school. So he teaches like 2 nights out of the week, but on the nights that he does teach, I typically try to cook the day before, like cook a lot the day before, so then we'll have leftovers for these nights, just because I get no break during the day with Luca, like no help, and it's hard for me to cook cook a big meal when I have no help, but sometimes I can do smaller meals like pre-seasoned meats, stuff I have like prepared the day before and can just pop in the oven. I try to be prepared for these days. Sometimes I'm not, sometimes it gets away from me and I forget to take meat out or something like that, and we end up just ordering food for that day, but most of the time I have leftovers for today. But we had some food out this weekend, so we had leftovers. Pretty much the fridge was packed this weekend, and I was going to cook the pork chops yesterday while he was here, but opened the fridge after we got home from Publix and realized how much leftovers we had, and we needed to eat those before they went bad. So I'll be doing the pork chops. I'm hoping to go ahead and cook them during Luca's second nap, which will be early for dinner, but it is a time that I can go ahead and get it cooked. And Kevin was saying he wasn't sure if he's going to be coming home in between his 2 jobs. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. It just depends on where he's working at for his first job, because he does travel a little bit for that. So he's working about an hour south of us today, and then his teaching job is in between where he's working today and our rental. So he was unsure if he's going to swing by the house in between jobs to eat or not, and if he doesn't, then he would have to heat it up anyhow. So my plan is the pork chops, and then typically also on the days that he works his 2 jobs, the like side that I do is also a easier side. So we pretty much wait until like Bird's Eye Vegetables, or there's another brand, but I can't think of it, is like buy one get one at Publix, and we kind of stock up on those, or at least buy 2 to have in the freezer. So then on days like this, I can just grab one of those, pop it in the microwave, and our side is done. So he chose today Brussels sprouts, which we haven't had these particular Brussels sprouts from Bird's Eye, I think it's Bird's Eye, before. So I'll have to test them out and see how they are. But on the nights that I'm actually like, he's here to help with Luca, and I can like cook, then I will make like a fresh side or something like that. So that is our plan for today. That is our little layout. I think I want to sit down and kind of like make notes of my pregnancy, birth story, and where Luca is up to today, and then sit down and film that. I know that when I got the diagnosis of Luca having ACC, that I did not know where to turn, basically. There's not a lot of information about ACC, but surprisingly a lot of people have it. They just don't talk about it, and I found that out much later, after having him, actually. And I feel like if I could just spread awareness to moms that are getting this news while they are still pregnant and don't know what their life could look like with a child with ACC, I feel like I just want to shine a little light on the potential of the goodness to come, if that makes sense. Obviously ACC is like a spectrum, and there are different levels to ACC, but I figured that it could be comforting to see a child with ACC and how they are doing in life. So that is my plan with that. And you guys can come on that little journey with us. So this morning was coffee, we played. I was able to put his laundry away from yesterday. I changed his sheets. And did I say we did breakfast? We did breakfast. And then I got my shower, and now he's down for his first nap. So we had a busy first 2 hours of the day. His little nap window in the beginning of the day usually isn't super huge, and I do try to go off of his app, the Lovebug app, but if he's getting grumpy and showing cues of sleepiness before the app is saying that he needs to go down, I will kind of just take him into his room, breastfeed him, and see if he wants to go down a little early. And he acted like he did until I transferred him into the crib, and then he was fussing in there for a little bit until the app said that it was time for him to go to sleep, and then he went to sleep. I feel like baby sleep is so hard, and I don't know if it's like because I'm a first-time mom, it's hard to me, or what. I don't know if like the second child will be easier to figure out, but I feel like, I don't know, every kid's different, so who knows. But that's where we are this morning. So I'll probably update you guys after physical therapy. You know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to not having to unload my oven every time I want to cook, because I have to use it to store all of my pots and pans. I just spilled water everywhere. Cool. I just put Luca down for his second nap, and then I just looked over and he's rolling around in his crib. He was sleeping. So anyhow, yeah, I'm looking forward to having cabinets where I can store my pots and pans and not have to use my oven, because it is a actual pain in the butt to have to take everything out, and then when the oven is hot and our pots and pans are out, if we have people over, typically I have to put our pots and pans on our table that we eat on. So usually there's only enough room for me and Kevin to eat on the table because it's filled with pots and pans. It's a nightmare here. Anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and make the pork chops. So I preheated my oven to 350. This is a super simple recipe, but it's very flavorful. It's very good. So very easy if you are a mom, or if you're just looking for a quick like recipe to do. I recommend this one. Let's get started with our dinner. So you're gonna want 4 boneless pork chops. Let me make sure these are boneless. These pork chops look a little bit bigger. Yeah, so these pork chops look a little bit bigger than the ones that we're used to using, I think. Now that I said that and I'm looking at them, I don't think so. But anyhow, you're just gonna take a casserole dish. So I've got my trusty peacock looking one, bird and flowers. And first step is you're just gonna put your pork chops in the casserole dish. So let's do that. All right, so I'm hoping that once we move, obviously we'll have way more counter space. I feel like I'm gonna keep referring to, if you saw my video from yesterday, then you know our counters, I've got a huge island. So I'm very excited about that. But you know, with working with what we have here, the counter space is not great. So my angles and stuff are gonna be not great. So bear with me on that. I'm still learning how to capture what I want to capture here. I don't really remember how I set up the camera and stuff when I was filming with my mom, but I feel like it wasn't like this. But she also had more countertops. So we're just going to put our pork chops in our casserole dish. I cannot wait to have counter space. So physical therapy was not great today. Luca is going through a very clingy stage where all he wants to do is have me hold him, and all he says is mama over and over again, and he doesn't want to like fully participate in physical therapy. So today we kind of just focused on talking about what milestones he's done from the last physical therapy appointment. And like I said, we have them every, sorry if you're literally just like seeing the back of my head. I have to wash my hands and you guys are in front of the sink. I feel like we're very, very close and personal right now. Don't mind me. So we have our physical therapy appointments every 2 weeks. So I was just telling our therapist like what exciting things that he has been doing, which is the rocking back and forth and all of that stuff. So she was happy about that and said that we're making good progress even with his little clingy phase that he's going through now. So all right, next we're going to grab a, where is this? Bear with me for a second as I dig in our fridge. It's always hard to find stuff when your husband puts it away and you're not sure where he put it. So you're going to want a container of a sour cream based dip. I haven't used this one before. I think the last one I used was the Dean's French onion dip, and that one was good. So this one was just a smaller size of French onion dip. The Dean's one was, I think, 16 ounces, and this one is 12. So I didn't want to have a lot left over. So that's why I had him pick up this one. It smells just like Dean's. Smells. You guys, I have been, are you kidding me? I never pressed record. I'm having a day today. Not a great day. Okay, well, let's do a little recap of what y'all just missed. That is so annoying. So I have you guys on my back camera. I think that's the issue. So I can't see if it's recording or not because I could not get the angle that I needed with you guys on the front. My oven is preheated to 350. I grabbed a casserole dish, I put my pork chops in it, and I did not season them. I'm trying to like remember everything that I said. I did not season them because the dips are so flavorful that they don't need to be seasoned. If you want to, you can, but like I said, it's to me, an unnecessary step. So this dip that I use, let me grab it. I'm so frustrated right now. So this dip that I used was this one, the Hell of a Good Dip French Onion. This one is 12 ounces and I just did one heaping spoonful on each of my pork chops, and I still have about this much dip left. So you just need any kind of sour cream based dip. And you may be saying like, I don't like French onion. That's okay. I have used sour cream and a Hidden Valley Ranch dry ranch packet, mixed that together, and I've smothered them in that as the base, like as the dip base before. Those were delicious. And then this is how I knew I wasn't recording, because I grabbed this other dip to show you guys and looked in the viewfinder and realized I was not recording. So this is the other dip. I don't know if everybody has this, but it is available at Publix. Taste of the South fried pickle and ranch dip. It's, if you like pickles, if you like ranch, it's freaking delicious on chips. I use it in like chicken salads that I make. So good. So I've also used that dip on here before, and any kind of like creamy based dip is great for this. After, I think I was also telling you that the pork chops, when they start to cook, kind of like release juices, and the dip falls off the side of the pork chop. It encases the pork chop in the juices and the dip, and it cooks like that. You guys will see. I'll pull it out and I'll show you guys. But so there's no need to do anything else in the bottom of your casserole dish. You just want a big enough casserole dish that your pork chops fit without overlapping. You just want them to lay flat in there. They can touch, but just not overlapping. So let me put this pickle dip away and grab our next thing, which is our shredded cheese. So if you want, you can skip this step. You don't have to do it. Now, my husband is a cheese connoisseur, so I never skip this step, at least for his. Sometimes I'll leave mine uncheesy. Usually when I do the pickle dip, I skip the cheese. I think I'm actually going to cheese like 3 of them and leave mine uncheesy. So then you're gonna take your sprinkle cheese, and my husband, like I said, loves cheese, so I load his up. And like I said, I'm just gonna leave one of them not cheesed, and then that one will be mine. I don't know, I'm just not feeling the cheese today. So you can put it across all of it. You can leave this part out if you don't want them cheesy, but that's what we're gonna do with them. So it calls for 1.5 cups of shredded cheddar cheese, but I just sprinkle with my heart, you know? And then the last thing is jerky onions, which I was also saying it's very fun when your husband puts away the groceries, because you're never really sure where he puts them. So it's kind of like a scavenger hunt in the kitchen, trying to find your ingredients. So if I were sprinkle onions, where would I be? This is also a step that you can skip. And if I can't find them, I may be skipping them. They're delicious, they are, but they're not needed. They just add like a nice crisp on top. Okay, but I also don't see some of the other stuff that we bought. Hold, please. Update, I found them. They were in a cabinet that I never use to store my food in. It's a cabinet he uses to store his snacks in. So we just use Publix French fried onions, and again, measure with your heart. Taste test. Delicious. Sprinkle these bad boys on. And again, if all you want to do is the, I'll say that's good. If all you want to do is the pork chops and the dip, you can stop there. It's still delicious. You don't have to do the cheese, you don't have to do the onions, but I figured if I have the ingredients, my husband likes not over the top, but he likes, why am I trying to say, like, this is gonna sound weird, accessories on his meat, like cheese and extra stuff. He's very much like a extra flavors kind of guy. Me, on the other hand, sometimes not so much. I just about panicked again because I could not remember if I pressed the record button. Okay. So now we're gonna pop this in the oven, and we're gonna bake it uncovered for 35 to 45 minutes. So let's get this in. We've got our oven preheated to 350. pop it in, and then I'll set a timer. I'm not wearing my watch. I would usually set a timer on my watch, but it's charging, so let me set a timer on my phone. Luca started losing his mind at this point, so anyhow, these are the juices that happen as you're baking the pork chops. So I'm going to test them, make sure that they are fully cooked. So you want pork chops to be between like higher than 145 and then about like 170 is a well done pork chop. So that's where mine were at. Perfect. I'm showing you my notes. 160 for well done. So mine were at 170, but they still were very, very good. So I'm also going to go ahead and do these sea salt and cracked pepper Brussels sprouts. So I went ahead and packed these up so I could eat them after I put Luca to bed and Kevin could have them once he got off work. Luca is down for his nap and I just reheated up our food. So I'm gonna do a little taste test. I know it's gonna be good. Like, I know it's gonna be good. He is trying to come up here. So good. A little taste test of this Brussels sprout. I did add garlic powder and onion powder to the Brussels sprouts because they just had salt and pepper on them. So let's see. The flavor got worse as I chewed. I'm like a very specific Brussels sprout girl, and those are not it. Kevin will probably like them. Not for me. So I just edited the vlog up to this point and realized that I have no outro. So yeah, the pork chops were delicious. Brussels sprouts, hard pass. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this exporting and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay, bye.